Before we start today's video, once again, I am promoting the election night stream that is happening this Tuesday, May 17th at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is right, folks. The election night stream will start on May 17th at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, just like last time, the link to the stream is in the description down below. Click it, head to the live stream, share with your friends, but also hit that reminder button. So the second I start, you get notified when I do. So yeah, quick promotion today, but let's get right into the video. Alright folks, no intro today. Finally got my wording correct. So we're gonna get right into it, folks, today. No bullshit. This is gonna be more so of looking at the, less talked about races for Tuesday. Again, we're gonna be making 2 videos tomorrow discussing the main races, but these are the candidates for lesser known races that I do think everybody should, hope wins. I think everybody should pay attention to these races because boy oh boy, there is a very good chance we get a lot of America First fighters in Congress this year, right? It's not just the Senate that's important, but also some of the Attorney General races, the congressional races, etc. So yeah, before we get to that though, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, so let's get right into it, folks. Right now, let's start with the 2 congressional races in Oregon that have a serious chance, or at least a reasonable enough chance, for Republicans to win. The first one is, of course, in District 4 with Alex Sarkardos for Congress. I fully endorse Alex for Congress. He is a phenomenal candidate. He did great in 2020. And while this district is, a Biden plus 13 seat, it's only 17% non-white and less than 30% with a bachelor's degree or more. So this is a winnable district, especially for someone like Alex. He's a great candidate, and I do think if Democrats, screw up on their nomination, which there's a good chance they will, Republicans could seriously flip this race. As everybody knows, the former incumbent of this district, he's not running anymore. He was a quote-unquote moderate Democrat, DeFazio. He was never a moderate, by the way. But either way, Democrats, they have to make sure they don't pick a progressive. If they pick a progressive here, I think Alex wins this race. But again, if you live in Oregon or you want to support some candidates, the first one I recommend you support is Sarkardos. Now we get to the second one in Oregon, which this one's not being talked enough about. Oregon's 5th. This is only a Biden plus 9 seat, and as everybody knows with what I've been saying, if it's below Biden plus 13, there's a serious chance it is an actual competitive race. And Republicans do have a candidate, Lori Chavez de Reimer, and she is a good candidate. This is a district that's only 18% non-white, and sure, it is 34%, college educated or more. But either way, that 18% non-white is critical, especially in a Biden plus 9 seat. And as everybody knows, District 5 in Oregon kind of got screwed over with redistricting. They kind of, got a weird split with, somehow Bend, Oregon is in the same district as the suburbs of Portland. It's like, no, that's stupid. But either way, if Republicans, I do think, nominate Lori Chavez de Reimer, I think she wins. I recommend everybody that lives in Oregon's 5th to vote for her. She's a great candidate, and the one I do think will win if she is the nominee. Now we get to Idaho, which there's really only 2 races that matter, but I of course got to mention, the other ones. Again, I'm not going to be mentioning, the big one, the governorship. That'll be in tomorrow's video, well, the first one. But we got to talk about the 3, lesser talked races. The first one is Idaho First. This is, of course, Russ Volker. He's a great congressman, or I should say, he is great, all right? He's a great candidate, great person, and this is a Trump plus 39 seat. So when he wins, which is going to happen, he's going to be a great great congressman, as he's already been a great congressman, and he will continue to be a great congressman for Idaho's First. Now, this is a district that I don't think anybody's talking about, but I do think Republicans are going to get a great upgrade here. I'm talking, of course, about Idaho Second. This is what I'm saying. I think Simpson is losing this race. I truly think Brian Smith is going to win here. I know that may sound crazy. As everybody knows, Simpson is a big name in Idaho. He essentially controls Idaho politics for years. But I think Brian Smith is running a great campaign. His fundraising numbers have been phenomenal. Simpson has done nothing. And I just think this year is a chance to get rid of one of the biggest rhinos in the House. So I do think Brian Smith, who I consider to be an America First conservative, an actual one, I think he's going to win. I think you get rid of one of the bigger rhinos that nobody talks about. I mean, Simpson is awful, yet nobody talks about him whatsoever. It's like, why? He's one of the worst congressmen for the Republicans. Again, there's some bad ones, obviously there's worse ones, but this guy does not get talked enough about. So I do think Brian Smith is going to upset Simpson. I know that may sound crazy, but I think it's going to happen. Simpson, I think, is in big trouble. I mean, the amount of money he's spending, and yet, his fundraising numbers have been abysmal. So that is why I do think Brian Smith is going to win this race. Now, for the Attorney General race, of course, I got to support my man Labrador. He is a great candidate. He was a former congressman. He was a great congressman. And he will also be the great Attorney General of the great state of Idaho. Now, he got screwed over, in my opinion, in 2018. He should have won that primary, but it's what it is. But either way, Labrador is going to be a phenomenal Attorney General. Another one of those that I do consider to be an America First type of conservative. Again, he was a great congressman, all right? He was before Fulker, which, again, is still a good congressman, but I do think Labrador is going to be a great Attorney General. He's actually going to do something, and he has the endorsements of some big names like Ted Cruz, which, again, doesn't mean it's good. It is a sign that many people are starting to think, okay, it seems like Labrador is going to win this race and become the next Attorney General of the state of Idaho. Now we got 3 North Carolina races, which, again, support these people if you live in North Carolina. First one is Sandy Smith for North Carolina's First. Sandy Smith ran in 2020. And while she did lose, I think, all right, she can make this race closer. I know North Carolina's First is 52% non-white. However, it's a very working class area. And if that minority working class vote does not turn out, or if they swing Republican, she has a chance of winning. Now, the problem is it is Biden plus 9 and 52% non-white. If it was like Biden plus 1, she would win this race. But this is an issue with, some of these districts. Yes, it's only Biden plus 9, but it's just too non-white for, I think, her to win. Though I think she could still win, I think it's an uphill battle. But I do believe Sandy Smith is the best candidate for North Carolina First. I fully support her. I recommend everybody supports her, donate to her, support her, vote for her, whatever. She is going to be a great candidate, and she has a chance of winning in NC1. Now we get to the basest person in the North Carolina delegation, Dan Bishop. What do I have to say about him? Dan Bishop is the definition of a Chad. One of the best congressmen we've had in years. Doesn't get talked enough about, but he is obviously one of the best voting representatives in the United States House. And again, I hope that eventually, he runs for the United States Senate, so we go from, Tom Tillis to Dan Bishop. I hope he does that, which I think he will. That'll be such a huge upgrade in the Senate. But for now, I do think Dan Bishop is going to be, talked about as one of the best representatives this year. He is criminally underrated, and I do think everybody should donate to him. He's a great congressman, and, well, he has, I think, a good future in North Carolina. Now the last one is, of course, the Trump-endorsed Bo Hines. Now, a lot of people are going to say, this is just going to end up like Madison Cawthorn. No. Bo Hines is actually different. With Madison Cawthorn, yes, he had good rhetoric. But some of his votes were questionable, and some of the personal stuff was. Bo Hines, on the other hand, he doesn't have that crap. But also his rhetoric, in my opinion, is way better than Cawthorn. And I do think if he gets elected, all right, in North Carolina's 13th, he is going to be a great representative, all right? Again, it's a Biden plus 2 seat. Who cares? Whoever the Republican nominee is in this race, they're winning this race. I know it's 40% non-white, but Republicans in this cycle are going to win a lot of races that, Biden won by 2 points. Whoopee frickin' do. But I do think Bo Hines, when he does win, is going to be what Madison Cawthorn could have been if he did not have the skeletons in his closet. Bo Hines, great on the issues, great rhetoric, and I think he'll be a great congressman. Now I get into Pennsylvania, which again, there's really only like 2 or 3 like intriguing primaries, but I do gotta support some of these other guys that are great. The first one I got to support is Kevin Deckler. He is a good. All right, he is great on the issues. All right, and I do think he has a chance of winning this fall. I think this is a district that if, he is the nominee, all right, which is Pennsylvania's 7th, I think he wins. Look, it's only a Biden plus 0.5 seat. It's only 28% non-white, and this is part of the state that's very blue-collar, and it's becoming more MAGA by the second. So I do think Kevin Dickler, however you want to say his name, again, I'm probably mispronouncing that, I think will be a great candidate for North Carolina or Pennsylvania's 7th, and I recommend everybody show support to him. Now, the more intriguing one, this is one of the more, intriguing districts, is Pennsylvania's 8th. This is a seat that, Biden won by like 3 points or so. It's only like 21% non-white. This is a very working class area. And I do think Jim Bognet is the best candidate for Pennsylvania's 8th. He's a blue-collar guy, has the potential to be, in my opinion, could be potentially a next Scott Perry, which is hard to do, but I do think he has the chance to do it. It is a northeastern district, and I think it's blue-collar enough where he would win. Again, it's a Trump plus 3 seat. So I do think if he's the nominee, he will win by a lot. Very blue-collar and good on the issues. I mean, you scroll down here, or it's this issues page. The issues page is great, and I recommend people support him. Now, this is one that he's not in trouble, but I gotta support my man anyway. Scott Perry. What do I gotta say about this guy? A great congressman, the leader of the Freedom Caucus, one of the best congressmen in the country. And again, another one, in my opinion, that's criminally underrated. Again, a lot of these people, like, Jim Jordan's good, but I consider Scott Perry, Dan Bishop, Paul Gosar the best, and they just don't get talked enough about. And yeah, again, Jim Jordan's good, but Scott Perry, in my opinion, outside of maybe Andy Biggs, should become the next Speaker of the House. He's already in charge of the Freedom Caucus. It's not that crazy to make him go up from the Freedom Caucus to the speakership. And I hope he does. I hope that we don't get Kevin McCarthy. But again, it's probably going to happen. And this district is, how do I say this nicely? Uncompetitive. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a Trump plus 4 seat? Yeah, this district is not going anywhere. Now we have Pennsylvania's 13th, which is a Trump plus 45 seat. John Joyce. This is who I support in this race. Now, look. Is he perfect on the issues? No. But in my opinion, he's still good, all right? I would not say he's Scott Perry good. He is still, again, on immigration, he is probably one of the best congressmen. It just, on some other things, it's kind of weird, all right? He's one of those really weird candidates where at times, he's a very good representative, but at other times, it's like, okay, you just see mediocre. But I do think overall he's a good congressman, and he will be reelected by a lot. So yeah. Now the last one is, of course, Congressman Mike Kelly. He's okay. I mean, he's not perfect. I mean, again, no one is perfect. But I think Mike Kelly is good enough on the issues, and he'll continue to be a good congressman in Pennsylvania's 16th. So that is it, folks. That is kind of all the, who care races, like the under-talked races of Tuesday. Now, I know people are going to be saying, what about the governorships? What about the Senate races? There will be 2 videos tomorrow, all right? I'll announce it later. With half the states, I'm going to talk about with the statewide races, and the other half being later. So, yeah. I'm sorry, folks, but I wanted to tell you guys who to support Tuesday if you live in these districts. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.